I think we talked about a lot of good things that, landlords do for their tenants. But I have a tenant horror story that my parents went through, and I'd love to get both of your opinions on it. So my parents have been renting a place for probably like 15 plus years from this guy. And they did about 4 years ago some landscape work for him because my parents own a landscape company, and it was about $8,000 worth of work, and they never paid them. Like their landlord never paid them, and now they're in the process of moving out. Do you think it's justified if my parents don't pay the last few months of rent as they're moving out? Or there's no agreements, keep in mind. This is all just like they live in the country. It's just like, what do you guys think?
I think at the end of the day, and the landlord's running a business, and if they didn't get approval for what they're going to do or work out some form of arrangement, them spending money on something that they wanted isn't necessarily justification to break the agreement. Now, if it's in the agreement, they've got all right. But
no. I did this as well because we were younger and I was working with them. No. He wanted us to cut his house, and he owned a few gas stations around town and stuff. And we told him the price, and he was like, "Yeah, we're good." So we did work around town for him. And then when we asked for payment, he was just like, "Nah, I'm good."
He just stiffed you on it. I mean, at that point, if there's no agreement, he's just a dishonest scumbag, but I don't know what all you could do about that. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, so what? If they're not paying the last 2 months of rent, they just leave?
Yeah. What do you think about that? Is that ethically, because obviously there's nothing that's going to be sorted out in court or either way, but do you think that's ethically okay, I could see that? Or are you like, nah, just pay him?
Well, technically you're not supposed to do that, technically. Now, if they don't pay the rent, can the landlord actually evict in time? Is it worth them pursuing that? Probably not. But the thing is, if they stop paying, the landlord, it would be in their best interest to begin the eviction process, because otherwise you're going to be like 2 months down the line, and they could say, well, actually, we're going to stay another few months. And then the landlord's like, well, you didn't pay the last 2 months, so now we got to start the process today. So usually, it's not going to get to an eviction, but you'll have to start it just in case.
If we're talking ethics, I don't necessarily believe in like an eye for an eye. So if it were me personally, I probably would just pay the money and let it go. But I would definitely not say anything nice about the landlord.
Yeah, I think the best possible solution, don't try and not pay, because that could come back to get them. That could come back to get them in future situations if they need to rent.
Right.
Like, there are too many potential negatives. I think you just call the landlord and say, hey, we've been loyal for years. We've worked here. We did do this landscaping. We did do this work for you that we thought we were going to get paid and we didn't. Is there any way you'd be willing to give us the next couple months for free? And honestly, if it was me and the landlord's like, no, screw you. And it's like, okay, cool. But those trees I did buy, so we're probably going to take them with us to the next property and see what he says.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts. Nothing big.
Cool.